Yeah, today's a little more dismantling. And when you're going through this, like I've mentioned in a previous video, it would be great if, and maybe people can do this, but I can't exactly. You need a perfect, or rather, you don't need a perfect arc to get everything done, but general priorities they'll start to fall into place, and you'll see it's like, wow, that situation could take a lot longer. I better start scheduling some doctor appointments, which I'm going to get into in a full video over the next couple weeks probably. So it's all these things that have to happen. But sometimes, there's times that you just don't feel like it. You're not in the mode to tackle a bigger project, but what I do is just keep moving. There's all kinds of stuff that needs to get done, bigger tasks, healthcare issues, seeing doctors, selling my car, which is coming up, and it's a stressor for me. Honestly, I've never sold a car. It's just happened. It's trade-ins and whatever, but I'd never gone through the process of trying to, I'm great at selling my old shoes and sweaters and an old lamp and furniture and cabinets on Facebook Marketplace, but I've never slapped a car up there and tried to do the same thing. Now, people do it, and I will get to that really soon, but what I do is I just try to keep moving. And today is something small. It doesn't have to happen right now, but honestly, I'm a little tired from the jazz show and dinner and a couple of cocktails last night. So I'm just tackling a couple of simple things that have to happen today. And I thought I'd bring you along for the ride. And I love my plants. I love making a nice space for myself, but some shelves are coming down. Simple task, but they have to come down. They're small, simple shelves, but I will take a few pictures of them. I will throw them on Facebook, try to sell them, but I do have to patch the holes in this wall, and I don't want all that waiting for me at the very end. I want to do a little bit of this as I go. I can really see my space changing as much as I can with still having to live and function in this space. In a full capacity, at least until the beginning of May. Let's get these down. If you don't own an electric screwdriver, I highly recommend it. If you're like a pro handyman or whatever, you probably scoff at it, but to me, it's been an amazing tool for, do-it-yourself little DIY projects if you don't feel like getting a carpal tunnel. But if you're into that, do it the old-fashioned way. And like I said, man, genius. And it almost, that's right, may the force be with you. Okay, I do keep myself amused. Handy little thing. I've always had an electric screwdriver. Let me get this and just quickie little backstory, because everything's a process. There's always something going on, a decision about something. Is it functional? Should I sell it? Should I toss it? Should I give it to someone? Every object has that decision that you have to make. But this, and I have a number of these around. The reason I do, and let me get myself framed here a little bit better. It's a pothos. I think I'm saying it right. Pothos. But what's kind of cool about this is an ongoing plant that's been propagated, which just means taking a clipping from a bigger plant, putting it in some water, getting the roots to grow, and then planting it. But this is This is an ongoing plant that was in my home as a child. My mom always had these things. They were on top of our refrigerator. They were in hanging baskets. But this is an actual descendant from a plant that I had in my childhood home 50 years ago. And that's not an exaggeration. I've always kept clippings. My mom used to give me a clipping when I'd, visit, and I'd want to get a little plants if one had died, but I really kept them going because they grow like a weed. They're pretty low maintenance. And so I've propagated those things, put them in little starter pots, and then just shared them, given them to people. It's like, to me, it's kind of like, it's just kind of a fun thing. My mom's been gone for, I don't know, about 10 years, not that long. 8 years, and she loved her plants, and I love plants. It brings life to a space. But so some of these, I've sold most of my plants, but these last little few that are nice, which I don't think I can smuggle to the Philippines. I think when it comes to international travel and relocation, you are not supposed to be taking botanicals into another country. That'll probably get you stopped real quick. So I'm not going to mess with that. I'm going to be a straight shooter and just take care of my relocation and follow the letter of all the recommendations with everything I pack, and to give myself the least opportunity for friction as possible. So I'll be giving these last few plants away to some friends or somebody that, kind of perhaps enjoys the backstory a little bit. These things are never as important to other people as they are to you, and that's okay. Yeah, I wanted to share that a little bit. So today's about working around this place. Well, I guess it's kind of tool time with Jimmy T, and I am aware that I'm backlit, so it's not perfect video quality, but the priority is actually me downsizing and getting everything done in these last 86 days. When I can film it with some good technique and great lighting and great sound, that's a bonus. That's not always going to happen because, excuse me, just because it's more time consuming to try to do all that. I've already gotten a little sidetracked with some of this stuff, but this, this channel, this process and everything, it is important to me, and I do want to capture as much as I can, but within limits. I've learned how to do this to some degree only over the last 10 days. 14 apartments over the years, I've patched a lot of holes, and a quickie recommendation for what it's worth is these drywall anchors that are in here. I've seen people try to dig them out. It's going to make the hole bigger. It's going to make a big flipping mess. So all you do is push them in a little bit. It keeps space in the hole, so you're not trying to fill up a hole that's gone all the way through a half-inch piece of drywall. So you just push it in a little bit, maybe 1/8 of an inch below the surface, and then you can do your spackle. So. Yeah. If you've ever worked around your house, I don't know why I feel like I need to do this, but this is dramatic. Sometimes you have like these. There's like 6 holes to push the drywall anchors in. 5 of them were easy, no problem. We've lost the lightsaber. And then there's the last one. It's like there's something behind it. I'm wrestling with this screwdriver to try to get it, pushed in. Seems like whenever you're working on something, there's always that one last little step, that one thing that doesn't want to cooperate. But I got it in there, and now I'm going to fill those holes. And this is what happens. I sold already 98% of my tools. I had a lot of tools. And And so for this tiny little patch job, I have like I don't know what it is, a 7-inch blade. You know, an 1.5 inches would be ideal for small things like that, but I've already sold it and I'm damn well not gonna go buy more tools. So you improvise a little bit. It's not that big of a deal, but sometimes you sell stuff and you find out a month later, damn, I wish I still had that because I need to use it for this process. But you know, you just improvise. Okay, next task. It does not have to happen today, but I don't like dirty windows. It's a sunny day. They're pretty filthy. It doesn't take long for them to get that way. Also going to test out this little wind diffuser. It's just a furry little thing that goes over the top of the wireless mic. So when the wind hits it, it doesn't make that horrible sound. It kind of diffuses the wind so you don't get that. I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we're going to give it a test because it's pretty windy out there. And you know, I'm in a mid-rise building, so we're going to bang out these windows real quick, and maybe I'll share with you why I don't grab paper towels and Windex. Oh, hell yeah, it's windy. All right, well, this will be a good test. So yeah, recording quality, I'm real curious to hear what this is gonna be like on playback. And I'm gonna attempt not to lose any of my equipment out here, like my rags. Most importantly, I don't go off the edge. I'm really not. It's no problem. I'll see if I have some pictures. I had a really pretty little balcony out here. I had a little bistro table. You know, I had a bunch of potted plants on the railing. You know, a nice little tabletop grill. So I've used this space, and it's been well used. That is for damn sure, but we are not looking for perfection, especially when it comes to just getting a layer of crud off these windows to actually let the sun shine in. That sun is life, and easing into the middle of March, there've been a lot of days without a hell of a lot of sun, and I'm starved for it. As everybody is this time of year. All right. If you don't have a huge supply of these micro cloths, I would suggest getting some. Man, can you use them for anything? Everything. Oh my God, I'm almost starting to sound like the ShamWow guy. Wow, what an improvement. And that just didn't take any time at all. Now, you're not really going to be able to appreciate the difference, I don't think. I don't think we're going to be capturing that, but yeah, it's a simple little thing. It took me less than 5 minutes. If you don't know how to handle a window squeegee, get out there with some Windex and paper towels. Yeah, we'll check in with you next week and see how that project is coming along. It does not work. So, all right, making there, a little bit better quality. Making some good progress today. Simple little things. Again, are clean windows a part of my relocation? Well, in a sense, only that, you know, I want to keep this space as nice as I can while it's coming apart and my plants are going and my equipment's going, and you know, everything is going. So a little thing like some nice clean windows to look out at while I go through this, it makes me feel good. And, you know, it only took a couple of minutes. So gonna have a few more tasks here, and yeah, so we're gonna make short order of this. I've been doing a few different things, letting my spackle dry in these little drywall holes. Just don't leave a bunch of excess on it. It takes forever when you do, but already opened up the paint. Speaking of OCD, if you have a painting project, if you're renting a place that's just been painted, ask them for a little touch-up paint. Get a, you know, get a quart or whatever. Make sure it's in a good sealed container, because it's always nice to be able to, you know, patch up a hole or scuff marks or whatever. That's my, like I said, that's my OCD personality, but hey, got it from my parents, so it wasn't my fault. I didn't ask to be born. All right, we're just gonna... We're calling that finished. Yeah, good enough, as we say. I never have any idea what I'm going to be talking about when I'm shooting most of this. I mean, I have a little bit of an idea, but it usually just comes to me at the last second. I was about to do all the stuff that I just shared briefly. I'm like, you know, what's a real obvious necessity when you're getting out of a living space than having to take shelves off the wall and, you know, patch and paint and sand and all that kind of stuff. Actually, not in that order, but you get the idea. And so it's, you know, I give it a little bit of thought, but then I throw the camera up here and dig in, and just because it's just it's the process. I'm trying to show the process, all the things that you do. You know, going out and having a good time last night was part of the process because I desperately needed to get out of the house. Another little thing I wanted to mention is, man, if I could juggle, this would make for a moment. Yeah, not so much. This is a stressful time for me, and it's good if you're going through something like this. It's good in general, but keep a handful of like good little healthy snacks around so you can just pop it in. You know, you're on the move, you're doing a bunch of stuff all day long. All of a sudden you look up and, you know, 7 hours have gone by and you're just like, I'll just order a pizza, which, you know, that can be an okay call sometimes. But, you know, these little cuties, who doesn't love these things? They're delicious. They're not very expensive. I usually buy a couple of bags at Aldi, and just keep some stuff like that. A little string cheese, some, you know, almonds, just something to kind of, you know, keep the blood sugar up a little bit. You know, try not to be eating a bunch of garbage food while you're going through this. You know, Pringles and a Coke, while delicious, aren't going to really fuel your body and fuel your brain to get you through this. So yeah, just a little, keep some healthy snacks around. That's a generally good practice for everybody, I would think.